Hey, welcome to All Things Davon, where there's no limits, no filters, honest conversations, and honestly, the truth we all can relate to. Today, we have an extraordinary guest joining us, a reality TV legend, actress, producer, entrepreneur, and yeah, she wrote in a book too as well. She first captured our attention on season 7 of Bad Girls Club as an unforgettable Voodoo Vixen, quickly becoming fan favorite and honestly one of my faves too as well, with her bold personality and iconic one-liners. But Judi Jai did not stop there. She went on season 3 of Love Games, Bad Girls Need Love Too, and also competed Bad Girls All-Star Battle season 1. And even venturing into acting and production with credits in projects like Raven's Cravings, A Be More Love Thing, and The Stacey Story.
Oh,
But get ready for an unforgettable conversation with the one and only Judi Jai.
I love that. Thank you so much. That was so well written and put together. I
Yes,
love it. I love it. Thank
how
you
are
so much for the
you?
introduction.
Yes, how are you doing today?
I am good. Happy Tuesday.
Happy
Happy
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It's a
And
day, it's a new day.
yes, and actually happy New Year. I mean, we're still in January, so
We
happy
are.
2025.
It's been a lot happened already.
Already. Yes.
hmm So I'm gonna get straight into things because I don't wanna. I know the fans, everybody. I want to know some questions. So you ready? Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay. So let's start back to Judy when she was younger, before BGC, before all of that. So you went to Columbia College Chicago and studied broadcast journalism, right?
Yes, I did.
Did
Yep,
you
I did.
so what first caught your attention with that? And um how did that even shape your career in the entertainment industry?
So, my whole life, I'm a Pisces. I'm super proud of that. I'm sure everybody
We're
mostly
both water
knows that,
signs.
but I love being a Pisces. You are too?
I'm a water sign, I'm a Cancer.
Oh, okay. You get it. Okay. So
Mhm.
the arts are just in us. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
my whole life, I was always super talented and creative. I played the piano growing up, dance, tap, and ballet. You know, my mom had me in everything, gymnastics. Um, and I was the only child. I grew up as the only child, so my mom always had me on like home videos, you know, in the 90s, home recorders and stuff. So I was always on camera and always doing something in the entertainment or arts. And of course, through high school, cheerleading, basketball, very athletic. But it was my senior year when I joined the newspaper staff at my high school.
Yeah.
And I was always a great writer. Like I said, I always wrote poetry and just wrote music. So it's not surprising that I actually do music now. But it was my senior year where I was like, okay, I absolutely love writing and I want to, you know, do a career in this for
And
sure. So that's when I ended up going to Columbia College Chicago and I went there. I actually wanted to go to an HBCU. I wanted to go to Howard really
me
bad.
too.
Yes, I love, you know, Howard. A lot of my friends were going there. But like literally at the last minute, my dad was like, I think you should go to Columbia. And that's because one of my uncles went to Columbia College Chicago and he was an amazing news anchor for like the news in
Mm,
Chicago. Like he was very successful at what he did. So my dad was like, you know, and then at the same time, you can be away from home, but still kind of close to home. You know,
yeah,
my mom's the only daughter. You know, I didn't want her to be alone. You know, my parents were kind of older. So it made sense that I went to Columbia College Chicago and I don't regret it at all because I had an absolute ball because it wasn't a traditional college. Obviously, we didn't have like a sorority, a fraternity, or a football field, but I was like in the heart of downtown Chicago, and that in itself, like at 18, was amazing. Like I didn't have like a normal dorm. I immediately had like a skyscraper apartment on the
okay.
12th floor. Yeah, like downtown Chicago, overlooking the city skyline. I learned, you know, early on, I was taking the subway. We call it the L in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm literally like, it's crazy because I grew up in Chicago and I was raised in the south suburbs, but going to school, like going to college and living downtown, it's a completely different world. You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
I was kind
crazy.
of like a tourist in my own city going to college, you know, because wow, I lived here my whole life, but I never did this before or did that, or I didn't know, you know, so I'm just so thankful that I got to experience that because I don't live in Chicago anymore. I live in Atlanta, but I mean, everything literally, I believe in alignment and just trusting God because
Mm.
everything led me like to literally where I am today.
To who
Like
you
just
are today.
everything makes sense. Yeah, like looking back, of course, at the time, I'm like going to college downtown. I was 18 already, getting into clubs and stuff, some of the hottest clubs in Chicago, fake
Yeah.
ID, like just, it was literally just so much fun, such an experience. And my best friend was a year younger than me, and she ended up going to University of Chicago. And then so my sophomore year, her freshman year in college, we ended up getting a place together, and it was a loft, and I mean the whole thing. It was just so much fun, and I literally don't regret it at all.
I
Like,
love that. I love that.
yeah,
And I'm
for
not gonna lie,
sure.
because I was like, I'm in college now. I got one more year left. But girl, let me tell you,
Congrats.
I don't want to go.
Yo, just get it done. Just
Uh,
knock it out. Literally, it
I'm doing it for my mom. That's about it. Other than that, I'm just
absolutely.
going.
And the fact, I know, like, the time where a lot of people are like, oh well, a degree doesn't even matter anymore. It does though.
It
It
does.
does still matter. And you have to remember, for instance, I went to college for the experience and to obviously honor my mom and my dad because my
Of
mom and my
course.
dad both had master's degrees. And also, my
Okay.
mom grew up in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Mm,
She was born in 1953. Back then, and my dad, he was born in 1932. He
mm,
was in, like I said, my parents were older. My dad fought. He's a veteran. He fought in the Korean War.
mm.
He grew up around the Great Depression times, like like a black kid from the South. He was born in Tennessee, so like what we're able to do, they were not able to do, and that's why we should do it. You know what I'm saying,
It's
for
kind
our
of like honoring
ancestors.
them in a way, in a sense.
Yeah, they fought for us to be able to go to school. And you're a black man, you definitely should do it. And me as a woman, like, I was just born to be in the kitchen and cook dinner and make sure my husband's clothes were ironed. Like being an independent working woman,
Mm,
that was not known, for a while. So you should do
yeah.
it just because we can. We're
Mm,
able to now. Absolutely.
you ate that.
Mhm.
You ate that. So let's just get into a few topics real quick. So looking back at your time on BGC, do you think the show accurately portrayed who you are, or was there like lots of editing that shaped your public image? Because I feel like there was so much more to get to know about you. I don't know what it was, if it was our signs. I don't know. I saw straight through it. I felt like there was way more to see about you.
I'm not one of those girls. If you talk to a lot of girls from Bad Girls Club, they'll complain. They'll be like, "Oh, the editing producers made me do it." They hate the production and
Yeah.
producers. I promise you, I love them. And if you follow me on my social media, I always represent them. I go hard in the paint defending them. Like when people tweet me like, "Oh yeah, Baddies is like Bad Girls Club," I'm like, "How dare you disrespect the Emmy nominated production, Beyonce Murray?" Like, like, because it's,
Clock
it's
it.
it's not the
They're
same.
not
Like,
the
these are,
same.
yeah, these are geniuses. These are people that created the real world, and somebody is like stealing their ideas and rat shitting up. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing the same. But I will say, like, I feel like they definitely showed who I was. Of course, maybe because you guys see 12 episodes and only 45 minutes each episode, because 15 minutes of that hour is commercials and stuff, and you can only imagine how much they don't show because we filmed for 3 months. Well, my season we filmed for
Mm,
3 months, so there's so much you don't see. So, and it's a story, you know what I'm saying? There's a story producer, there's editing, stuff left on the cutting room floor. You don't see everything, but overall I think they did a really great job showcasing who I was.
But on season 13 that you were on, I remember when one of the projections stepped in and screamed at you, and I wanted to punch them in their throat so bad.
See, now when 13 came, 13 was completely different than 7 because, mind you, 13 came after the terrible season 11, which ultimately started the downfall of Bad Girls Club.
Yeah.
And 12 was when they brought in a life coach to try to save face because of how terrible season 11 was. Because if you remember,
Mm.
like, we used to have commercials like sponsored by Garnier Fructis, like we
They
had
still have it to
commercials.
this day.
Yeah, we had sponsors and commercials. And after season 11, it was so bad that sponsors were pulling out. They were like, we don't want to represent this. Like, we don't want to be associated with this because what is it now? It's like,
Yeah.
it's terrible. It's like hazing and stuff. So by the time 13 rolled around, it was just a mess. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Mm.
production was different, producers were different. You could tell, because like I said on 7, they didn't tell me to do anything. I'm sure, of course, we live in a controlled environment and things are manipulated, like
But you're
not
still
turning on the
you.
AC or like, not turning on, like they control everything, right? But it's
Yeah.
a manipulated situation. But never once did a producer actually come up to me and tell me to do this. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Or say
okay.
this or do that. You could
Okay,
tell though
okay.
on 13, it started being like that. You know
I
what
can
I'm saying?
tell. I can tell. I pay attention to detail. I'm telling you, season 7 and 13 are not the same. Don't compare the two.
Mm-mm.
Love BGC, but they are not the
Two,
same. I can see
two
like even the
completely
views and the
different
ratings are going
things.
down.
Two completely different things. And just the fact that we had to have a life coach, which ultimately they thought it was going to save face, but it
Yeah.
actually ruined it, even more. And then when it came out that she wasn't even a real licensed life coach and she was actually an actress, it wasn't a good look. You know what I'm saying? So, but Beyonce
An
Murray,
actress.
yeah, she was actually on like Fear Factor or something.
Yo, she
Or
don't have a
yeah, she's
degree.
no, she's actually a reality star.
Girl, not her being an
So
actor. Good night.
yeah, so it was
Good
it was
night.
all very much produced, and I think it was overproduced. And I
Yeah.
ultimately, even though I was going through my own things, I think that ultimately made me even more nervous and made my anxiety even worse because I'm like, it's not even genuine, it's not authentic. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
about
Now,
numbers and it takes the fun of what the originality of what BGC
yeah,
once was.
exactly. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it turned in from me just being naturally entertaining, like just being myself, to me trying to put on a show, and ultimately it was just insane.
Over
You know what I'm
exaggerating
saying?
yourself to
So
please the
it was a
audience.
mess. And actually that was supposed to be the last season of Bad Girls Club. But they had planned that before before the season even ended. Like when
You
they greenlit season 13, they were like, we're gonna wrap this up, and that's why they made it an all-star show, because we were just gonna go out as a redemption season. And a lot of people, I just want to clear this up because I talk about it a lot, but I'm gonna just say this here. A lot of people think that Bad Girls Club ended because like the Claremont twins sued Oxygen or something, and that's just not true. That's fake tea.
mm,
That's fake tea. Um, season 13 was always going to be the last season, right? But then at the last minute, because it was a long silent, after 13 at our reunion, there was no next season of Bad Girls Club, how it always was.
yeah.
For after season 7, they showed a promo for season 8. You know what I'm saying? Las Vegas and stuff. They always did that. They didn't show a promo after 13. They ended the reunion with us hugging because there was no season 14 coming. That was the end. But somewhere during
Ooh.
that gap, um, Oxygen decided to greenlight 4 more seasons.
And that
But
was your
ultimately,
downfall.
yeah, but ultimately it didn't do good because season 13 was the last season to hit over 1 million viewers.
You
Season
can
14
tell. You can tell.
on their premiere of season 14, they only hit like 500,000 viewers. Like
It
we have
gave
more
that.
followers than that on Instagram. So they weren't even watching it. So they were gonna pull the plug eventually. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was supposed
Yeah.
to be 13, but because they greenlit 4 more seasons just to see how it would do, and ultimately they all flopped. They were gonna pull the plug anyway. They say Oxygen went broke. That's not true. Oxygen is under NBC Universal, and NBC Universal just made $1 billion this past year. They
Oh, okay.
hosted the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Like
Woo!
these people have money.
They got money on money on
Gunnar
money.
Murray still pushes out season after season of the challenge with very expensive equipment and challenges and stuff on the show. They have money. They just stopped investing in Bad Girls Club because nobody was watching it anymore. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, if the network realizes they're not making their money back of what they put in it, why are they going to keep investing? So
Yeah.
that's why season 17 was in an apartment, basically, and also because it was the theme. It was East versus West. They wanted a city vibe. So a lot of that is just fake tea, fake speculations. Um, the Claremont twins could have possibly sued them, but I'm sure they didn't win because the thing is, baby, those contracts we signed are ironclad. It's an
Mm.
ironclad
We're gonna
contract.
have to do some
You know
tea
what I'm
research on
saying?
that.
Like there's no loopholes in that. Like they know that this is a show that could be liabilities and stuff like that. People can get hurt. They're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? And usually when somebody tries to sue a huge company like that, they get blackballed and blacklisted and a
Yeah,
lot
and you
of
don't want to do
crazy
that
stuff.
because that's money. That's money on money.
It's just no tea to that. So I'm just saying that. But yeah, the gap from 7 to 13, you could just tell the whole show was different. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It just wasn't the same. And everybody hated 13. So
So from watching the show, are you and Julie still friends? Because I saw season 13 a little bit.
yes, Julie is one of my very good friends in real life, where she's
Okay.
actually one of my best friends from Bad Girls
I
Club.
love her.
Yes, she just got engaged. I was like one of
Oh,
the first people she told. She told me that, and I will definitely be at her wedding.
I know that's right.
She's a really good friend, and also Julie was going through her own stuff on 13. She didn't even come to the season 13 reunion. She actually had a note from a psychiatrist saying she was not mentally well enough to be at the
I
reunion. So
remember that. I was
yeah,
wondering
so
where she
I mean
was.
13 was really a hot mess with to everybody. Like everybody was literally just chapped on that season, and a lot of it not only came from the fact that it was overproduced and trash. And I'm not saying Vienna Murray was trash because they love me. They have a
No, they
podcast.
they
I was
are
the
good.
only.
No, they are
Yeah,
good.
I love Vienna Murray. My
Hmm.
relationship with them, I'm the only bad girl that they're still in contact with like that. They have a new podcast, and I'm the only one they invited on as a guest out of
Clock
Bad
it.
Girls Club. So that I love them. I will always love Vienna Murray. They've been nothing but great to me. How producers handled season 13 has nothing to do with the actual company. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? That was
Yeah.
just a worker at their company. But
Mm.
you know, it was just terrible. And what I was gonna say was all of us had already did Bad Girls Club and had already been through hell. So I think all of our anxiety was super high on 13 as well. You know what I'm saying? Like we already did this and we're doing it again. So it's really stressful. You know what I mean? But oh, I love Julie though. That's my girl. Yeah.
Julie, I love her. I ain't gonna lie. At first, I was a little side-eyeing her. I was like, "Ooh, she played her role well." But I really do love her down. Like she's so down to earth. I love her. And
You
also,
on 9, she definitely played her role well,
you know,
and I
she
feel like
played
on
it a little
13
too well.
and on 13 I think she got some redemption.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean
for
the show was
sure.
redemption. She went in a different person because she didn't want to go through what she went through on 9,
You can
at the reunion
tell.
and stuff like that. She learned.
My favorite part was whenever you guys said, "Hey guys, I don't want to go on the show right now," and she just acted like her mother. She's like, "Okay, mama, it's okay, you can stay there." And it's like she just gave such motherly vibes, and I was like, "That is so cute." So I love
Well, on
her.
13, me and Julie,
Yes,
I love Julie.
I love
She's like
her.
that in real life, like literally in real life. Before we moved into the season 13 house, we hung out. That's how we arrived together because producers knew how close we were. Like we were hanging out in LA, drinking. I mean, we drank like 30 strawberry fields at a bar in Hollywood. Like me and Julie, when we're together, and it started on All-Star Battle because we were there just smoking cigarettes and drinking. We didn't care about the battle at all. Like me and Julie are a ball together, and you know, I wish 13 went differently, but you can never dictate how a show is gonna go. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? You don't know. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know how you're gonna feel in this situation. And me and Julie, both of our anxieties were extremely high on 13, and it just didn't work out the way we wanted it to. But that's okay because it worked out the way it was supposed to. You know what I mean?
Are you and Rima friends?
No, I don't talk to Rima, but I have no beef with her. We're both from
Okay.
Chicago. I'm from the South Side though. She's from the North.
Yeah.
That's apparent. But no, I think she's beautiful. She's on a spiritual journey, and I'm obviously you see my background. I'm spiritual as hell, so
Hmm.
I get it. There's no beef. You know what I'm saying? We're grown. But another thing, a lot of people think she like ruined my voodoo doll at the 13 reunion. She did not. That was a duplicate. I sell them to this day. You guys go shop Miss Voodoo dolls because they are on sale. It was a duplicate. I would never bring my real Miss Voodoo to the reunion because I knew
Mm.
they were going to do that. You
Mm.
got to think ahead.
Great minds think
Yeah.
alike.
Yeah,
Okay.
but there's no beef. I think she's beautiful. I love her spiritual journey, and I just wish her the best. We're all grown as hell.
Okay. So we all know you were on the first season of Baddies, right? You were on the first, the OG. Yeah, because y'all had to y'all be forgetting how it started. Okay.
I don't
Um,
know how they could because the Bad Girls Club is the creme de la creme. Like
I
we're
ain't
the
gonna
blueprint
lie.
of
I'm not
all.
gonna lie.
We're
It's kind of a mess, and they try to
we're the
emulate
blueprint.
BGC.
We're the blueprint of every single show, wannabe show
Everything.
out here now. Yeah.
Okay, so, do you have a favorite baddie? And like, also, what is the definition of a baddie?
No, I do not have a favorite baddie. I don't watch baddies. I don't. I'm
Mm.
not a subscri. I don't. I'm not a subscriber of Zeus. Like you can't find it on my phone. In fact, the only way I see any of that is on Twitter because it's on the For You tab, and I get mad because I'm like, this isn't for me. So I like mute. I mute. I mute. I mute. I mute. I don't know why I'm seeing Biggie's. It's just I don't. And a Mac Biggie. Like I'm like, dude. Like if y'all don't stop, this is not for me. So I muted
Mm.
all. Um, but I will say from the clips that I have seen, I think that if I, me being a bad girl, if I was to say any of those women could have probably made the Bad Girls Club cast, like the cut for the real thing, like Bad Girls Club back in the day, I think Anna Mack is the closest thing to what a
That's
bad
what
girl
I
is.
said.
Yeah, I think she's young, she's spunky, she's fun, she has a smart mouth, she doesn't care. She fights when she wants to. I mean, she from what I mind you, I don't watch the show. I see the clips though, and what I've seen, I think she's a cutie pie, and I think she would have been great on the real Bad Girls Club back in the day. But as far as what I think overall, I think that it's just a whole bunch of women pushing 40 that is cosplaying a show that they never made the cut for. Basically, it's a whole bunch of BGC rejects cosplaying a dream that will never be.
And that's kind of what I said too,
It's
because
the truth.
if
Like
you kind of think about
Sukiana
it
on
though,
that, the judge, when she was a judge for one of the seasons, mind you, I only see clips. She's up there asking these girls, what makes you a bad girl at the auditions? Baby, you're delusional. This is not the Bad Girls Club, and these are not bad girls, and you aren't either. You're on a show called Baddies. And y'all ain't even
ooh,
bad. Like a lot of y'all ain't even bad.
and
Because
also
when I
to add
think of
that
a
too,
baddie, I think of like Christina Milian or
ooh,
Justin Sky.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, Mariah Carey, like
Mm-hmm.
baddies, like bad bitches,
Mm-hmm.
talented bad bitches. Now I will say, and I'm just gonna be honest when I say this. When I was on Baddies ATL, I was the first one to wear a colored wig in my confessional, and I was the first one to rap and rhyme and talk about freestyling and writing poetry. So I'm pretty much the blueprint of the direction of what the show went in.
We've been
And
new.
people, I mean, it's the fact. You know what I am? What I mean? But I will say, a lot of them are talented when it comes to music. I ain't going, I'm not a hater. Like some of them can rap for sure.
No, for
Um,
sure.
yeah, they are talented and they are cute. Whatever. I'm not a hater. Their
I
little
wouldn't say
hairstyles
I'm
be
a
cute.
hater though, but I will say this
I'm being honest.
too.
I'm a real
I
one.
think
I'm
I
not a
think
hater.
honestly it's true. But one thing I will say, the reason why I kind of am not too fond about baddies is mainly it's kind of like hypocrisy. Because I remember when Natalie was on her season, she was being a
Yeah.
colorist and was talking about, oh, this
Well,
girl's too
she is.
black, this and that.
I,
But then now
yeah,
she's going
me and
to Africa.
That's okay. So me and Sarah talked about it on our podcast and it went super viral and it started a lot of conversation. And people are always saying it in the comments. Like, I can't believe y'all let Natalie capitalize off the black culture because she doesn't even like
Literally,
y'all, which is true. And we talked about it on the podcast and it went super viral and it brought up the conversation again, because there's a viral clip of me and Natalie in a trailer on Baddies ATL, and I called her out for it, and she tried to deny it. And people find receipts. It's on the internet. It was on TV. It's
I mean,
never
it's
gonna
on
go
TV.
away.
We all saw it.
Right. So, but it started. People are on TikTok. Black girls are making videos like that is so true. That's why I don't support Baddies. Blah blah. I mean, it's just the truth. And the fact that they're going to Africa a month or so after that clip went viral is just a slap in the face. And Lemmy and Natalie do it on purpose. They literally play in everybody's face
I can
all the
tell.
time.
I can
But it's
tell.
crazy because Lemmy plays in Natalie's face too. So I mean, Lemmy is actually the head baddie in charge. I
Mm,
mean, like,
clock it.
but and I will say, I will all because I always say this. I have no issues with Lemmy or Zeus. They didn't do anything to me. My issues are with some of the girls and the way I was treated, and of course Sydney Stark because she's just thirsty and a huge fan, and she is just thirsty.
But what did she
But
do?
as far as Lemmy, he's never disrespected me. He's never talked to me crazy like he be talking to them crazy. He's been nothing but respectful to me, in my face. And what also it's because I think he knows better. And what I
Oh.
mean by that is he knows that I grew up with great parents. I come from a great background. I grew up, I had a great childhood. I am intelligent. I'm well spoken. I'm a good person and stuff. I'm not a hoe. He knows that. He knows who to talk to and how to treat people accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like do you know what I mean? Like he
Mm-hmm.
knows I'm not one of them ones. I'm one of them ones, but I'm not one of them ones, and he knows it.
Treat me as
You know what
such.
I'm saying?
Treat me as such.
Yeah, and it's a fact.
Mm-hmm.
He even played on Sarah's top. All that shit, and it's because I feel like he just feels like he can disrespect a certain type of girl. Like
Mm.
for sure. And I'm not saying Sarah is less than me or anything because I love Sarah, but what I'm saying is like, she does OnlyFans and stuff, and she, her lifestyle and how she presented herself before her walk with Christ, it probably propelled him to
Yeah,
not
and I
have
feel
as
like the
much
one thing I will
respect.
always say is dress how you want to be addressed because that
Mm.
very much plays into play. Like if you're going to show out wearing this, wearing that, you're gonna attract what you get, and don't be mad what
Yeah,
you have. So.
yeah, and mind you, I would be flashing my everywhere like you look rip, but it's because I'm crazy. Like I'm crazy. Like I'm
Yeah,
not out here selling it, and he knows it. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, and then also going back to BGC just for a quick second before we move on. I remember, first of all, we can already say BGC was already way better than Baddies because you had actual celebrities actually watching the show. And I remember Rihanna had said that you were her favorite Baddie. So how do you feel
yes,
about when Natalie had basically dissed her about the whole domestic charges? Because that to me was very shallow in my opinion, and that was not a laugh. I did not laugh at that at all.
I personally think Natalie is so ignorant. Like I don't have no beef with her. I don't dislike her. She knows I'm one of them girls from Bad Girls Club. Me, her, and
Mhm.
Tanisha are always
You
top
can't forget
three.
her. You can't forget you.
Yeah, yeah. And when Andy Cohen did his reality TV, deep dive on
Yeah.
me, Natalie, and Tanisha were the only three bad girls out of 200 plus to get that call. So that lets you know what it is. She knows that,
Mm,
and so she always respects me when it comes to that. I always puts respect on my name. She's did it in a gossip interview. Definitely knows I'm one of them top bad girls, and she also said it in a magazine article. Honestly, ironically with Rihanna on the cover, her Galore
mm.
issue. Natalie put some respect on my name, saying I'm iconic. I just came too early to the show, which ultimately, I was on the first season. But when it comes to Natalie, I think she's ignorant as hell. And when people be like, "Oh, she's such a smart businesswoman," it's insane to me because all of her ideas are stolen. Like, there's nothing genius or
That's what
creative or
I
original about it.
said. Everything that she's done from is it One More Chance? One
Yeah,
Last
I'm
Chance?
well. That's Zeus. Everything Zeus does is stolen too, and they try to
But a
reboot
lot
things
of the
that
things that
used
she
to be.
does isn't
Even the
originated.
Erica Mena show, that's like
I
a head
remember
nod to
that.
Tila Tequila on MTV. Remember
Mm.
Tila Tequila? She did
Yes.
yeah, and she was dating men and women. So everything, all the content there is just rebooted. Trying to tap back into what
Trying to
was
make a quick bag or
popular.
two off of it.
Yeah, yeah, but
Mm.
as far as her, all of her ideas are stolen. Like the Baddie Shot O'Clock. Bree is the one that made
That's
that
what I
up.
said. I said she never even made
Yeah.
that.
Like the baddie code, as much as I don't like the twins or don't really care for them, and the baddie code is originally from MTV's Girl Code and Guy Code, what they
Yeah,
used to do years ago. But ultimately Danny started something on her YouTube channel called Danny Code.
she
Natalie
did.
stole that. Yeah, for sure. She doesn't do it anymore, but it was years ago, and they even invited Natalie to their house in Boston to do an episode of it. So for Natalie to just take it baddie code, and
I feel
I
like
I
that's
mean,
so
but if they don't care, they're
weird.
not speaking up. Why should I? But if that was my idea and she was still on my shit, I'd have something to say.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Bree
for
too. How are
sure.
you just gonna let this girl? And I can't believe that Oxygen and Bjornum haven't stepped in and tried to sue for the likeness of their brand But maybe they're just waiting for them to hit a certain number for them to
Yeah.
just come
Mm-hmm.
with the lawsuits. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. But ain't nobody stealing my idea without giving me the props. Like Andrea from Jocelyn's Cabaret, she does this whole voodoo thing, but
I
she
was gonna
lets
say
people.
that.
I love her though, and she's a huge fan. But because I'm not offended, it's because she openly says she loves me
She gives
and
you
she's a huge
homage.
fan. Yeah, she's like giving me my flowers. But if she wasn't and she was just doing that and running with it, I'd have something to say
Yeah, I was
because
gonna
I'm
say
an
she
artist and
did
I'm
take it to another
sensitive about
level.
my. Yeah, I care. But if these other people are just gonna let Natalie just take their ideas and run with it and not say anything, then I'm not. I don't care because she can't steal shit from me. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you can't still. I'm too unique, baby. You ain't gonna take my shit. But
Mm.
I mean, Sarah tried to fight with her, about her stealing the show and stuff, but ultimately it went viral and people know the story. A lot of people know the story, but it didn't stop anything, and that's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
So, well, I'm glad we got that out of the way because, ooh, that.
Mm. I'm so sorry. The question was, how do I feel about Natalie saying that about Rihanna? I think it's ignorant. It was very, very ignorant,
Oh
very
no, we got that.
tone deaf, very
Well,
tone deaf.
yeah.
I mean, I know it was coming from a hater place because she liked Chris Brown or whatever, I guess. But
Regardless of the whole thing, I feel like there's a difference between being thinking logically and then thinking emotionally and it's just being ignorant. But that's neither here or there.
right.
We're gonna get into the next topic because this is about you. I'm not gonna get nobody no more camera time. Um,
Yes, okay.
like we want to know about Judith Jackson. We we're
Yes.
gonna strip it back. We're gonna strip it back.
Yes, for
So
the government. My middle name is Camille, and my name was actually going to be Camille Antoinette LeBlanc.
that's
LeBlanc,
cute though,
it's French because the Louisiana Creole
because
and
you're
French.
Creole,
So
right?
I'm a lot of stuff, but rooted in French. And my mom's last name was LeBlanc, and it means white in French.
Hmm.
But Creole is like a mix. She's not white. She wasn't white, but it was a lot of mix and stuff. But French is our like one of our big anchors in Louisiana Creole and in Cajuns. And I get a lot of questions all the time like, are you Haitian? Do you speak Haitian? No, Haitians speak Creole, Haitian
Mm-hmm.
Creole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Louisiana Creole and we mostly speak French. But it's a lot of the same roots because when I went to Haiti, they were eating gumbo, and when you go to Lake Charles or Louisiana or New Orleans, especially, they're big on Haitian culture. It's like a mix,
Yeah, for
like
sure,
a
for
French
sure.
and Haitian voodoo, all of it. I love it so
I did
much.
my
So
my 23andMe and I got my results back. Both my parents are from the Virgin Islands, and
yes,
my mom's mom is from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, and my dad's
yeah.
Puerto Rican.
Oh
Um,
wow.
but
That's a pretty mix. I've been to Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico. I've been to Dominican Republic. Love Dominican Republic, and I did ancestry DNA to find mine. So
I
yeah,
was 44% Nigerian. I was like, okay,
I have Nigerian roots too.
okay,
Hello,
sister.
Nigeria. Nigeria, being Nigerian is such a thing to brag about because it's just so bomb.
It's the
Like I love the whole
motherland.
culture. They're so rich. Like Nigerians are so rich. Like they are. I went to my very first wedding I ever been to was my friend's. Her name is Megan. Her dad was getting remarried, and he's Nigerian. They're Nigerian,
Mm,
and I mean they were throwing money. They were making it rain. One thing about Nigerians is they are rich. Like they are
mm.
destined for wealth. Like Africa is so rich. That's why they took everybody from Africa because we're the ones. Like for sure.
Clock it,
Period.
clock it. Uh,
Yep.
okay. All right, now for real, let's get into Judith Jackson real quick. Okay. So, how is your mental health? And how has it changed since your debut into reality TV and the industry?
Oh, that's a good one. So my mental health right now is really good.
Mm.
Let me just say, it will be 2 months. I've been alcohol free on February 9th.
Yes.
February 9th makes 2 months since I
I'm
drank
proud of
alcohol. But I need
you.
I tweeted that. Thank you. I tweeted that and everybody was like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you." I'm like, "Y'all relax. I'm just doing a cleanse. Like this, relax. Like my birthday is coming up. I'm definitely gonna take a few shots." But as far as like just me, but here's the thing: like everybody always thought I was like an alcoholic. I wasn't. I was on the Bad Girls Club. Like My friends, when they watch me on the show, they didn't think that because I'd be with them. We'd be lit. You know what I'm saying? We'd be turned. Everybody was just as drunk as me, but everybody was just focused on me because I was just probably the most entertaining one when I got drunk. But
Mm.
everybody was drinking just as much. I was never an alcoholic. Did I maybe abuse it? Yes. Did I drink way too much sometimes? Yes. But as far as an alcoholic, they can't function with alcohol. I did not wake up in the morning and just drink. I that's not what I did. But when I'm drinking, I got lit. But if I'm on vacation, like if I'm in the Virgin Islands, because I have been there before, and I'm on vacation, I'm gonna wake up and start my day with some shots. Why
Yeah, because
wouldn't
you
I?
on
I'm on vacation.
vacation.
Right, but I'm not. I was never an alcoholic. I was 21 on the Bad Girls Club. You know what I'm saying? But now Judi at 35, and it's a completely. First of all, I can't even drink as much as I used to because those hangovers hurt now, baby. And I've acid reflux. So, I'm just getting older. It's natural to slow down on drinking the older you get. That that's proof I was never an alcoholic. But I will say, alcohol used to really get me into trouble. Very much so. Like I would be in jail, like just intoxicated on the airplane, like public intoxication. I know y'all know the infamous airplane video of me.
Mm.
It's still up there, super viral. That's back when being crazy and viral was a thing. You know what I'm saying? I was viral and crazy before it was a thing. But
Mm.
I will say me cutting back on alcohol, it just made me think way more clearer. I'm more healthy. Like for instance, I am in shape more. On 13, I started getting a little flubbery because you drink. It's alcohol, it's calories, it's sugar. Um, I swear, all you got to do is cut back on alcohol, and your whole life will change. I will really be so honest saying that. And where I am at just mentally, I feel like I'm in a very good place because I know how to deal. I know how to cope. Like I have anxiety, but I know how to handle it. Back when I was first, yeah, like when I first started dealing with it, and I'm sure I was triggered way before like TV and stuff. TV just amplified my anxiety.
Yeah.
But really, I had been through tumors and cancerous cells and stuff. I used to be on Zoloft, antidepressants when I was a child. Like I've been here, I've been there, I've been did that. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Crazy times. But I didn't know how to deal with it. But now as an adult, I do. Like I take magnesium, y'all. If you have anxiety, magnesium is one of the best things you could take for your
oh,
anxiety, and it's healthy because it's low key probably something you're missing in your diet. As simple as that, and that's why you have anxiety.
I
I
need that
love
probably.
magnesium. I drink a lot of tea all the time.
Me too,
Lemon
girl.
water, lemon water.
Me
Um,
too.
Yes, lots of incense, lots of sage, Palo Santos. I love me a salt bath,
Mm-hmm.
Epsom salt baths with spiritual oils, um, cleansings, and one thing about my house is always dim lighting. Like when you come here, you're gonna think you're in a spa. It's nothing but salt lamps and very dim lighting. It's zen. It's very
So
peaceful.
would you say you're at peace?
Yes, I am
I'm
at
so
peace.
proud of
I will,
you.
of course, we're all dealing with things,
Yeah,
right?
of
Like
course.
life things, like bills and just stresses of life. But ultimately, I am very much like at peace.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear I don't know how they do it on Baddies, like how they do
That's
it.
not
Like,
peace. That is, I don't care
whoo,
what anyone says at the end of the day. And
no.
even if you're spiritual, you believe in Christ or whatever your religion is, you cannot say that is peace. You're constantly fighting. Hold on. You're constantly fighting with multiple people and bouncing different energy into your space over and over
Oh my
again. That is
God.
not a baddie.
I can't believe it. And it's not even, yes, I did Bad Girls Club, but for one, it was completely
Those are
different.
different though. You can see the
It's
difference.
totally different. We weren't having sex with producers and security guards, and we
Clock
weren't on
it.
coke and doing drugs. And I mean, this was when we did Bad Girls Club. It's a very very professional setting. Baddies and Zeus is not. It just
You
isn't.
can tell the
Black owned
difference.
cool, but it's not. Two totally different things, ball games, and I was 21. Like I said, like in my early 20s. Now, like for instance, I have another project in the works, brewing and stuff, and when I do that, it's going to be just different because it is professional and it's just different. Like it's just I couldn't imagine being on the road and being in that many people's energies and fighting and arguing and drinking 24/7 and never having a moment of time for myself and just peace and just constant drama. And you're, mind you, she's
Mm.
40. Natalie just turned 40. There's
Mm.
no way in hell. Like I couldn't
That's why
even.
I feel like it's all a gimmick.
It's just it's been, well, of course it's a gimmick. Of course she's nothing like that. We know that. You know, the only people who believe that are little kids that are growing up watching Baddies, unfortunately. And most of them are from the poverty, who don't have cable, who can't afford cable, so all they can watch is Zeus. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth, because that's the demographic that Zeus touches. Like it's just the truth. But it's definitely a gimmick. But what I'm saying is, you just got to be vibrating at such a low level. Like I can't even relate to her. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't relate to them at all. Like um even if I was going to make it, I would like to judge something. I think I have the credentials, and that's more of what would be cute. Like me judging, I would be
Mhm.
open to getting a check from that. But as far as ever going back, a lot of people asked me that, and Natalie wanted to bring me back on
Please
Baddies Midwest, and I
don't.
was open for an appearance, but I just don't. It's just not good.
I would
There's
say
nothing
this
good
for
that can
sure,
come from
though.
that.
I would say, I really, I don't want you to go back. And two, one baddie that I wish did not go on the show is, in my opinion, is Jalamina. Because for her to be on
Oh.
Forbes and for her to be on Vogue, I feel like that dampened her name more than it actually gave her the recognition that she should have been
Well, I
getting.
will say that the reason why she's getting those articles is because of Lemmy. You know, it's really who you know. Like if you have a good
Mm.
publicist and stuff, they can pull strings and write, you know, a cute article. But I love Jayla Mina, and I have been supporting her bathing suits for a while now. She mailed some out to me in like 2019. Her normal couture hats I was wearing in like 2017. So I've always supported her. But I will say the things that she has been able to do is because of her connection with Lemmy. You know what I'm saying? But I do think she should know when it's time to walk away.
Yeah. And then going back to you though, do you feel like being the only child, do you feel like you've missed out on certain aspects of life? Because for me, I'm a twin. So I cannot like that
Wow.
is like completely different. So I kind of want to know your perspective of you being the only child versus me. I always had someone since the day I opened my eyes.
So me being an only child made me very extroverted and outgoing, and that's probably why I'm so talkative. Because like when I would go to Disney World or like Six Flags or Islands of Adventures, you know, all these places with my mom or my dad, they wouldn't ride these roller coasters with me. You know what I'm saying? So I would
Yeah.
have to be in line and meet somebody like, "Hi, I'm Judy. Are you riding alone? Can I ride with you?" Like I
Oh.
think that it, yeah, like it always, it put me in a position to always try to make friends, and that's why I put so much emphasis on like friendships and friends. Even on Bad Girls Club, I was like, "Are you my friend?" Like I used to do that all the
I
time.
love you.
That I had like anxiety when I was 7. I would ask somebody like, "Are you my friend?" They'd be like, "Yes," and literally 2 minutes second later, I would be like, "Are you my friend?" They're like, "Judy, yes, I just answered you." Like just OCD, but I the crazy thing is, when I was 16, my mom told me that my dad actually had a previous family, and I have a half sister and two half brothers.
Really?
Yes. So I met them when I
Oh.
was like 18, and they've been in my life ever since then. Actually, one of the reasons why I chose to move to Atlanta after my parents crossed over was because I'm not all the way alone. Because my dad's side is here, my half brother is here, my other half brother is still in Chicago, and my half sister, her name is Michelle. She recently got married and she lives in North Carolina now. She has her own restaurant. She's a chef. She's amazing. So we got to make that trip when you come here. Maybe we could
No, for
take a drive to
real.
North
I got
Carolina.
you, girl.
Yes.
We'll text
Yeah, so
for
I have, it's like I grew up as an only child, but as an adult I do have siblings.
I would say
It's
that's a
cool.
blessing, like for sure.
Yeah,
And then
cool. But
also,
oh my god, having a twin is, I man, so cool. I just know it is.
I have a
It's
twin. Yeah, I have a
crazy.
twin sister. So she's like, I will always say
Oh
she's like the
wow.
prettier version of me. So she looks just like me, but in a girl.
Oh my god, that is so cool. Well, hello to your twin sister. That is so unique. That's amazing.
Oh my goodness. And then something else too, I do want to touch on too, is how was it losing both of your parents, and how has that changed your perspective in life and family and your career? Because I believe that you were doing that kind of happened during the BGC era. And also, I know that kind of happened Like, I know you were dealing with cancer on your own, and there was cancer within your family. And I know with me,
Yes.
we can both relate to that because my mom had precancer too as well, and it comes and goes. So
Oh,
I kind of felt touched by you whenever when you were open about it, because that's something to be big. That's something big, and that's very personal that you let to the audience get to know you more about.
yeah.
Get to know
And
you.
actually, first and foremost, I'm sorry that your mother is going through that.
No, thank you. Go ahead.
Cancer is trash. It's the most
Mm-hmm.
ugly thing ever in the world. I speak healing energy over her. She's a
Thank
fighter.
you.
She's gonna kill it every single time. Um, it's crazy because I talked when I was at the end of season 7. I got another tumor in my groin area, and I would talk
Mm,
about it to my mom on the phone. Like me and Stassi have cried about it, and they never aired it, and I respect that because they didn't want to air that to protect me, which is amazing because usually they don't care about that. You know what I'm saying? Like they're
yeah.
gonna air anything for
But it's
ratings,
also
but that's
personable.
another reason. That's another reason why I love them. But a little quick short story. I got a tumor again in my groin area at the end of season 7. I got it removed right before I went to Love Games. You would never even know I was like on bed rest for the first month after leaving Bad Girls Love before I went to Love Games. I got it removed, thank God.
Yes.
So the first time I got the tumor, I was young. I was like 11. It was after my grandma crossed over. We were in Lake Charles, Louisiana, burying her, and I felt something in my arm. And comes out that it was a tumor, but they had no idea where it came from. They thought that I got bit by a bug in South America, and it like traveled through my body and exposed itself as a tumor. So to this day, they really don't know what it is, but I always have to pay attention because even though majority of the time is benign, you never know when it couldn't be, so I just always be super careful because if I feel a hard rock or anything, I immediately know what's up and it's back and I got to get it removed,
Hmm.
so it's insane. But my mom actually crossed from lung cancer, and it sucks because
I'm
she
sorry.
hadn't smoked a cigarette in 20 years. So that is just letting everybody know, you guys, stop smoking. I even quit smoking. I know y'all saw me on Bad Girls. I was smoking Newports and Black and Mouse.
Mm.
I don't anymore. I do smoke vapes now, which honestly, you guys, it's not any healthier because we're smoking a battery. And I was watching true crime. I love true crime. And actually, a story I was watching last night, one of the stories was on a girl who got murdered. But before she got murdered, she had got pneumonia from smoking a vape. So the vapes are just as dangerous,
Hmm.
and that I'm just letting you guys know, put all that shit down, okay? Just cut it out. Now because it's gonna catch up to you. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom, like I said, didn't smoke for 20 years and got lung cancer. But then again, there's some people who smoke their whole lives and never get it. It's really a draw of the cards. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
my parents crossing over really, really changed my life. Because it put into, for one, it started my spiritual journey. I've always been spiritual, me being a Pisces, but it really put me on the path, like this is it, because I was drinking so much and blacking out and crashing out and getting in trouble and going to jail because I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was mourning. But I realized, like, okay, my parents aren't here anymore to just come and bail me out of jail. You know what I'm saying? The two
Yeah.
people who love me the most out of everybody aren't here anymore. They can't save me. I have to save myself. Nobody's coming to save me.
Mm.
And if I keep going down this road, I'm gonna end up in jail or dead. You know what I'm saying? Or worse. Which what can be worse than that? But it totally put me in a new direction, and it just made me grow up super fast. Like my whole life, me being an only child, I was super spoiled, never had to worry about bills. I mean, my mom did everything for me from peeling my crawfish to filing my taxes till I was like 26 years old,
Yeah.
and then now all of a sudden I have to figure this out on my own, so,
Mm.
and I'm still learning to this day. It's been 10 years since my dad crossed over this past Christmas, and it will be 10 years since my mom crossed over on March 1st, a week before um, my 36th birthday this year. So March 1st. My
How
birthday
did
is
you
on March
handle
8th.
that though? I feel like that is one of the scariest things anyone can go through. And that's why I look up to you so much because once I realized that, I was like, dang, I have so much more love and respect for her. How did
Thank you.
you?
That's real. And it was back to back. So I was going to like a hospital seeing my dad on bed rest to going home seeing my mom on bed rest.
That is like,
it
how
happened
did
really
you?
fast, and at the same time, BGC 13 was airing. It was like a lot going on. Like, and I kept it silent because one thing about me, I don't tweet or let anybody know what I'm going through, if it's really good or if it's really bad, because I feel like if it's really good, evil eye is real and people aren't happy for you. And I don't want any energy to mess up the possibility of my blessing, right? And then I also don't tweet things really bad because there's mean people on the internet. I didn't want anybody to say terrible things about my mom and my dad when they were in their transition stage, because I would have, it's going up. You know what I'm saying? At
Well,
this point, I'm tracking you down and I am going to come to your
and then
house type
also
shit.
you had also can you also share like how you wrote your book? I know it's called "To Death Do Us Part." Is it called Foe?
Yes, yes. So okay, so I'll get into that too. But my parents back to back, it was terrible. And one thing, how you just said, and I thank you so much for giving me my flowers and just recognizing the strength and what I went through. One thing I always say, and it's kind of evil, but God is still working on me. I always say I cannot wait to see how the people handle what I went through when it happens to them. For instance, when I was down, a lot of people kicked me when I was down. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, talked about my mental health and, oh, she's crazy, or why would you tweet that when your mom just crossed over and stuff? You know, I cannot wait to see how they handle what I handled,
Because you were
ultimately with
going
grace.
through people have to realize you were young. You were going
Yeah,
through so much of life, and that's what, like, oh, I feel. Let me not
I
get
did the
into
best
it.
I could. And I guarantee you, I promise, I guarantee you, these people will not be as graceful as I was.
That's what
Like,
I'm
and I won't
saying.
be there to laugh. Like, haha, I told you so, because that's ugly and that's, I don't want to be like that. But I will be making a mental note that, see, it doesn't feel good when you're going through it. But anyway, my book is definitely called Foo, Till Death Do Us Part. Foo is a French word for crazy. Anything I do, I put in my Creole heritage and culture and stuff. And it's actually a romantic thriller. It's fiction. No, fiction means real. Not it's not. It's a nonfiction book. Nonfiction means not real,
Wait,
right?
nonfiction is real.
Okay, it's fiction. Okay. Yes, so it's not real, but it has real imagery from my life.
I love
Like, for
that.
instance, in one of the chapters I talk about like a Cadillac, and my dad had a Cadillac, or I'll talk about my mom's perfume, like Estee Lauder, like she loved Estee Lauder. So the story is a romantic thriller. It's really good. I think everybody should get it. And at the end of the book, it has my mom's very own Creole recipe. So it's like a cookbook at the end too. It has some of my poetry and some of my illustrations. So it's
Oh,
really, really good.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to get it. I'm
This
gonna have
is
to get it and read it. I do need to read that.
Yes, it's really good. It has a lot of Creole, obviously, imagery, and the main base is it's two girls, and the story tells from both of their perspectives. It switches from Abella to Summer, and Summer is Louisiana Creole, and then Abella is actually Haitian. And the
Mm.
reason why I did that was because so many people asked me, like, "Are you Haitian?" Like I just said, like, and I wanted to differentiate the differences of the cultures, but also highlight what they have in
I
common too.
love
So
how
it's
you're
a really good
so
book.
I love how you're so informative about where you're from and your heritage, especially about being Creole.
Yeah,
They're all
but
because they're all connected too as well. So it's like hearing it from your point of view, I'm like gaining more information inside about it too. So it's pretty cool.
yes, I love that. I'm super obviously proud of my heritage and stuff, because it's so, I love it. I'm like obsessed with it because it's so unique. Like, it's so spooky too. Like, just down south in general, it's spooky. Louisiana, the antebellum homes, like the mansion I lived in on Batgirls Lip 7 is actually antebellum home, which obviously used to be like, where the masters would live and where the slaves would work on the
Yeah,
plantations. This is so much culture. And also shout out to my Cajuns too, because I am Cajun too. But Cajun is more so on the white side, and Creoles is more so on like the Black,
black
Native
side.
American, Spanish side. But I'm both, because I did the ancestry. I'm so many things. I'm over like I'm so much. Like, it's crazy. People would all they thought. it's so funny when I auditioned for Bad Girls Club, the producers were like, people are gonna think you're Asian when the show airs. And I was like, really? Asian?
I thought you
And
were Malaysian.
look, and I was like, well, they're gonna know I'm Creole because I'm gonna make sure they know, and that's why I yelled it so much on the season, like I'm Creole, because they said everybody was gonna think that, and it's so funny because my mom said when I was a baby, everybody used to always ask her, was my dad Asian? Because everybody thought I was Asian. But when I did my ancestry DNA, guess what? I do have a little bit of Asian in me and Polynesian, like Hawaiian. But really, my slanted eyes come from me being Native American,
Like,
Choctaw Indian. Yeah,
you
so
have a high
I
honor to be
do
Native
have Asian in
American.
me, but the eyes are definitely from my Native American.
Mm.
Yeah, for sure.
So we're gonna play a little game, and it's called Decisions Oh Decisions, where I basically give you two questions, well, two answers, and then you either choose this or that.
Choose which one.
Yes.
Okay, let's
Alrighty.
go.
So would you rather be, if you had to pick, on Bad Girls Club or Baddies ATL?
Oh, Bad Girls Club.
Uh,
Matter of fact, I would do BGC 13 again
oh
over
my
Baddies ATL.
goodness.
That's how much I want to avoid Sydney Star. Ever.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Would you rather be rich or famous?
You know what? This is so funny because I'm not going to lie, I get everything I want. And I'm speaking that verbatim. You too, you're a water sign. We get everything we want. I don't even know why we trip. We get everything
We
we want.
really do.
We do. We
We
do. We do.
do.
And I remember when I was actually sick as a kid for a little while, I went through phases of being super popular and obviously an outcast when I was sick because people just don't understand what they don't understand. And I remember laying in bed praying to God, like, I pray to be famous. I pray to be famous. I pray to be famous. I was saying the wrong prayer. I should have been saying, I want to be rich and famous. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
As an adult, the answer is definitely rich. I'd rather be rich than famous. As a child, oh, I want to be famous. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can be famous nowadays. He even said it. Somebody said a quote that everybody's going to be famous in the future. I forgot who said it. I'm going to text you when I find it, but he said it and he was right because now with the internet, everybody can be famous. Anybody can go be famous. You know what I'm saying? The answer is rich.
mm,
Rich. And I'm good. I'm well off. But I there yeah, the answer is rich. For
mm.
sure.
See, that's a lesson for me because I was gonna say famous, but I love that new perspective
Mm-mm.
and my mindset on that too.
Rich, rich, rich. Because okay, well, I get where you're saying though, because if you become famous, you maximize on becoming rich. I
That's
get
where
it.
I'm coming from.
Yes, but there's a lot of famous broke people. A lot of them.
But I feel like that's how you do with it. I feel like with your mentality and where we want to go, and especially if
Oh
we
yeah,
want it,
no,
we'll get it. It's gonna happen.
the
So I feel like we
decisions
can
you
do
make.
it.
Absolutely. But the reason why I would say rich is just because I've been watching like a lot of documentaries, like on the come ups of McDonald's or like the Google. How did Google even come about? How did Amazon? All those Tubi movies. I love them. Oh my god! Like so, I watch documentaries on that because it's genius how an idea became something we can't even live without now. Like Google and Amazon, we use that every day. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And somebody came up with that idea. I really think, and you know what's crazy? If it wasn't, for the internet or like knowing Steve Jobs, we wouldn't know who made Google. You know what I'm saying?
that's
We
true.
don't just like, oh, this, who made Google. But this man made Google and he's somewhere not famous at all, but him and his generations and generations and generations are fine. You know what I'm saying? Like they are set for life. I think the debate between rich and famous, it could go so many ways. Um,
Mm.
it could go either way, but I think the prayer is to be rich and famous, not just one. So let's pick both.
Okay, period. Why not have it all? So, would you would you
Uh oh.
rather, if you had to pick, would you pick Natalie Nunn or would you pick Shelly?
You know what's crazy? I love Shelly.
You do?
In real life, I love Shelly. on season 7, as you saw towards the end of the season, we actually started having a lot of fun together,
Yeah,
like playing the little put the hands down and stuff, the end of the season. But I was booked a couple times out in St. Louis where she lives, and she's actually come out and supported me, and we had a ball,
I know
like in
that's
real
right.
life. Yes, and we've been booked together, me, her, and Rocky in Dallas, and we also had a lot of fun.
Mm,
Shelly is cool as hell in person. So
mm.
but you know what though? Natalie's fun too, though. I'm not gonna hold you. Natalie is fun. She is
Mm.
fun, 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 fun. If you're with Natalie in the club, she's gonna spend money on some bottles. Like that's one thing. I mean, Zeus. I ain't gonna hold you. Zeus is fun to party with. They are like I have a
No,
ball
I could
partying with
tell. I
Zeus.
mean, they have a good time. Their
Yeah,
whole
they
brand
have
is
a
about
good
being in the
time.
club.
It's the after party you don't want to go to, like the no diddy, no diddy. But Zeus is fun, and so is Shelly. So, but if I had to pick like as a person, I would probably obviously Shelly, which is crazy because uh Shelly isn't like she's not a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like Natalie, she has ulterior motives.
Okay, okay,
Shelly
okay.
does.
Let's switch it up a little bit then. So then, would you rather pick Natalie or Priscilla? Because I know you threw that stereo on
Oh,
here.
Natalie. Well, no, you know what's so crazy though? You're like, wait, what? Priscilla was fun sometimes.
Yeah,
No, but if we're
yeah.
gonna be okay, let's because I'm doing too much now. I'm choosing Natalie. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Natalie because Natalie's gonna buy me a Cuban cigar and a bottle.
You might as well get what you want out of it.
No,
Okay.
but y'all do not smoke and cut back on drinking. But you get what I'm saying, like
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and she'll
Mm.
probably give she'll I don't know. Natalie smells good too, so
Okay, okay. All right. Okay. So, okay, last question. Okay. So, would you rather be known for a scandal or never get noticed at all?
known for a scandal. What?
Mm, me too.
Of course. I'm never going out this life not being known.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Like
how you finish, not how you
absolutely.
start.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, and then scandals are just amazing. Like they're juicy. And me as a journalism, just student and major and stuff, I love a good story.
Mm.
I love a good story.
Okay. So, how I like to end this podcast is anytime I have a guest here, I want them to walk out with a different energy than how they started. And I want to give back to the audience. So if you can give one quote to the audience they can take away with, and then I'll give one to it afterwards. Let's do it.
Okay, so the quote that I want to leave everybody with is um it's one of my favorite quotes of all time
Mm,
and it's so good in life, and I'm looking forward to the memories of right now.
mm,
It's what Drake said. I love Drake. I don't care if you guys don't like him anymore. He is a goat, always will be, and I love him. And but I love Kendrick. I love everybody. Okay. But Drake, he said, I'm looking forward to the memories of right now, and it's so real because life keeps going, right? It doesn't stop, and you're always living in a moment, and sometimes you don't realize it was such a great moment until you look back. And if you realize in the moment that you're in right now, like in your life, look or where I am, you have to realize this moment will not always be forever. Time
mm,
keeps going. In years from now, you may not be where you want to be right now, but I promise you, like looking back in 5 or 10 years, you're gonna be like, damn, that was really fun. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
oh my God. So always think, wow, I'm looking forward to the memories of right now. And I'm getting chills
Mm,
saying that because even me now looking back at memories of Bad Girls Club and just, shows that I did, or even if it wasn't just as fun as like even season 13, I look back and be like, wow, those were some really good moments in my life. You know what I'm saying? Some weren't so great, but overall, damn, what a life.
it
You know what I'm
showed.
saying?
It showed like it showcased your growth. And first of all, you're only 35. You're saying it like you're old. Like you said,
No,
wow, what a
no, no. I'm
life.
so young. I'm still figuring out like who I am every
Yeah, you're
day. Like
35
no.
years old. You
And
barely hit one quarter of your
no,
life
it's not.
your
And
lifespan.
and literally I will say the older that I get, the more I realize like how young it still is. It really is. Like
No.
and you don't realize that until you actually get there. Like damn,
Mm.
like cuz at 25 I probably thought 30. When I was like 15, I thought like at where I am at right now, I'd be married, have a baby, have a kid. Child, I couldn't even imagine having a baby right now. I'm still chasing dreams and just I still have so much things that I want to accomplish. You know, you're
Mm.
only as old as you feel, and that's it. I mean, never lose the child in you in general. You know what I'm saying? That's another
Mm.
quote. Never lose the child in you. Never let the child in you grow up. Always be optimistic and always be a dreamer. Don't ever let anybody think that your dreams are too far or crazy, because if your dream isn't crazy enough, you're not dreaming big enough.
And
Period.
because one thing that I learned too is that a lot of people's dreams are shining on their graves.
Yes. Oh my God. And not only that, but I'm a big about manifesting. Obviously, I'm a huge manifester. I know you are too. You're a water sign, but manifesting without putting the work in is just a thought.
That's
It's
faith
just an
without works is
idea.
dead.
Yeah, you have to put in the work, and that's something I'm realizing too. You can sit there and light as many candles as you want and do as many spells as you want. You got to put some action and some energy behind it,
Mm.
for sure.
I feel like a quote. Okay, so a quote that I would give out is to never seek revenge because rotten fruit will fall by itself. And when you really think about that, negative people will always be around you. Positive people will always be around you. But the people that really don't deserve to be in your life, that have done you wrong or anything that happens in life, they are going to get what they deserve without fixing. If they're not wanting to fix themselves, you're going to see their downfall eventually. And don't wish it on them, because the minute you wish harm on somebody else, it
It's
comes
gonna come
full
back.
circle right back to you.
Exactly. I agree. I'm big on that. Very big on that. What you put out into the universe, you're gonna
And
get back.
forgive. Please learn to forgive. People have this mentality where um they want to have this life, they want to do this, and they don't want to forgive. Live a life where you don't have to have the answer, because if you're always longing for that answer, always longing for closure, you're going to be restless. You will never be
You're
at
gonna be
peace.
bitter too. Yeah. Some of the best apologies are the ones you never get.
Yes, because
Period.
it forces you to have to deep dive into yourself to find
Yeah.
closure and to find a new version of you. Because the version that you were in 2015 or 2016 isn't the version that you are now. You're meant to be a different person.
Absolutely. And also one thing that I realized going getting older and stuff is everybody's going through their own things. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like everybody, it's different doubles, different levels. Everybody is going through something. You know, so also just don't take things so personally. And that's something
Mm.
that I'm still learning, because I am a big person that takes everything personally, but not so much. Let it roll off. You know, everything isn't about you. You know what I'm saying? It really isn't. This world is so big and everybody's going through so many things. Don't always take things so personal. People are really fighting demons that we would never know. Mental health is
Mm.
real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know what somebody is really going through behind closed doors. So don't take it personal. Just
Yeah.
let it go.
So with that
Period.
being said, I feel like we got into some good topics. We talked about your history, back life. We talked about what's going on today. Um, and I feel
I had a
content.
ball. I think this is great, and I love the way that you asked me and just how the conversation went. It's very different from any interview that I did. So I'm actually
Really?
really excited to share the link and post it to my fans, because this was great,
Oh my
great, great,
goodness. Thank
great.
you so much. I feel like I definitely wanted you on the podcast because I wanted people to see a different side of you, because I feel like you don't give yourself enough flowers when it comes to, or not, I don't want to say flowers, people don't give you enough grace about what you've been through in life, because some of the things that you did and some of the things that you went through was real. Everything a part of you was real. And I feel like people have to have grace because people lack that. Because people in today, I feel like people are very much like narcissistic in a
They
way.
are, and they're desensitized. But one
Yeah.
thing I also realized is people won't understand until they go through it. They
I feel like
won't.
it should never have to be like that. Why can't we all just give each
It
other
shouldn't.
grace?
It shouldn't. But it takes to be a teacher, you have to be a student first.
Mm.
You have to be a
I
student to become a
never.
teacher.
You ate that.
Yes, and with that, and that's why you just gotta. Cause me, I'd be like, oh, they don't get it. Wait until they go through it. Like I said earlier, sometimes it's bigger than you, and you just gotta let the
Deuces.
universe. Every timing is everything. They'll understand soon.
Mm.
They'll get it.
Well, yeah, we got into a couple things. Um. Well, I'm so excited to have you on here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me your time, your
Thank
dedication.
you for having
Of
and I
course.
can't wait for the episode to drop, you guys. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Team Judi, stay tuned. I have a lot of stuff coming, and you can get to all of my products like my voodoo dolls, everything that I sell under my Vixen brand, and my book and everything literally on my link tree, which is on all my social media
Mhm.
platforms, which I'm pretty sure you guys know because I'll be tweeting this link from them. So yes, stay tuned, and just thank you for rocking with me all these years, and just stay locked
Of
in.
course. So with that being said, thank you guys for tuning in with All Things Davon. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I will also have Judi J's whole Instagram stuff. I'm pretty sure y'all already know. That's why y'all came here, okay? But I'll see y'all next time.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, you guys. Mwah.